for love, 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 love. Hi, YouTubers. It is your girl, Jasmine Marie. And today I am here with a video about the Bachelorette episode 3. Hey guys, what's up? So I got my handy dandy notebook and my toddler ate my notebook. I got so mad last night that he ate my notebook. As always, episode was 2 hours long, so I got some notes that I had to take because how am I going to remember 2 hours worth of content? So let's go ahead and get started. And you know what? I'm going to start with Jamie's bitch ass tonight, okay? Now, this happened at the end of the episode, but I'm going to start with this first because remember last week, I was so pissed off at him, y'all. I ended my video like livid with Jamie, right? Remember that? So at the end of the episode last night, Rick, shout out to Rick because Rick did that. Rick somehow got Michelle to tell him that Jamie was the bitch that started the little rumors that allegedly people were questioning Michelle's character, right? Which was not true. And remember last week, I said nobody was even talking about it. It was just like a little group of people and Jamie brought it up, right? Remember I said that? So how about last night they got to the bottom of it? So Rick pretty much asked Michelle like, oh, you know, nobody in the house was really talking about your character. So who told you that? So pretty much Michelle was like, Jamie is the one who said that. So Rick told her, no, that didn't happen like that. So, bitch. Rick goes back and tell Nate, my man Nate, the Nate that I like, okay? So Rick gets Nate and another guy in a circle and he starts telling them about what the conversation he had with Michelle and how Michelle was like, oh, Jamie is the one who said this, that, and the third, and yada, yada, yada. So Nate, being the grown man that he is, right, okay? He's like, you know what? Let's just call Jamie up here because I don't want to be pretty much talking about Jamie if Jamie can't defend himself. So he's like, Jamie, okay? So Jamie comes upstairs. They confront Jamie with the information. And then Jamie was spewing out some bullshit. Like some real bullshit. I was like, what is he talking about? Oh my gosh. I was like floored. I was like, what? Like the stuff that was coming out of his mouth was straight garbage. It sounded like, you know how when you're trying to be smart or intelligent and you're just spitting out words and you're just basically talking. You're just talking words because you feel in your mind the more words you say, the more intelligent you're going to sound. But you sound fucking stupid. That's how Jamie sounded, okay? Stupid. Y'all. And then when it got to Michelle, the stuff, like her face was even like, what did you just say? Like, bitch, that ain't what you told me. Like, I mean, it just sounded crazy. And when she walked him out, y'all, I was like, so I usually watch The Bachelorette in my living room. But last night I watched it in my bedroom, which is why I didn't do my video last night because after the show, I was going to sleep. Because, of course, it's a struggle for me to stay up past 10 o'clock. I was struggling getting into the end of the episode, but I made it. And I'm happy I did. Because that fuck shit that Jamie was on. So when she walked his ass out last night, y'all, I was like, yes! I was so happy. Because he just needed to go. Like, first of all, he made something up. And then he tried to be like, oh, it was my perception. And I forgot who said this, but one of the guys was like, it wasn't that it was his perception, it was his insecurity. So because he was insecure of the fact that he felt like Michelle had a stronger bond with Joe, he took matters into his own hands and decided to like make up this whole thing like, oh, the guys feel like you already know Joe. But really that's what he felt. So instead of him saying, hey, like basically being honest, Michelle, you know, do you feel like you have a stronger bond with Joe because like, did you know him before? Instead of communicating like Michelle likes to do and like he claimed he was a communicator, instead of doing that, he just basically like lied on the other people. And that right there is like some serious behavior. Like, I'm so fucking happy that Michelle let his ass go. Like, one thing that I do like about Michelle's season is like she's not keeping guys around like, oh, just because I like him or whatever. Like, if you do something that she doesn't like, you're gone. So she's done that with 2 guys, Jamie being one of them. So I really do like that about her. It's like, I'm trying to find love. Like, I'm not here to play. I'm not here to be lied to or whatever. Because to me, if you would do that right now, especially like in this predicament that we are in, you would do that. That's your character. That's who you are. So you would do that with many other situations. So why the fuck would I want to be with you? You're a liar. And then it's like the context that he told the lie in. That's like some serial lying type of bullshit. Anyway, let's revert back to the front of the episode. So, episode opened up with the guys talking, yada, yada, yada. A few guys got picked to go on the first date. The first date was going to be flying. When they got to the flying thing, remember last week I was like the guy with the blonde and the black or whatever. So his name is Martin. I don't really like Martin, but that's his name, Martin. So the men got suited up to what I thought they were going to do was fly the plane or whatever, but really they got on this little spinny thing that's really cool. I actually kind of want to do that in my real life or whatever. So I'm going to find out the name of that because I definitely want to do that. Put that on my bucket list. But yeah, so Martin, he pulled Michelle to the side and was like, oh, how are you doing after last night? Yada, 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 yada. And I just was like, ugh, like, don't try to suck up. Like, boy, bye. Because you were actually a part of that conversation with Jamie. I don't believe Martin said anything, but he stood in the circle with it. You know, he was with the foolishness or whatever. But that doesn't mean that he had anything to do with it. But he was there when the bullshit started. Anyway, so he pretty much pulled her aside, asked her how she's doing, and yada, 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 yada. And then the men, they went ahead and they got on the spinny thing, and I wrote a note, and I was like, you could see who the punks are, because, like, some men were freaking out about getting on it. Granted, I've never done it, so I don't know what it's like. I'm not afraid of heights. I love roller coasters. I love getting spin all up or whatever. It was not a roller coaster, but I just thought it was funny that some guys were, like, really freaking out about doing this challenge, and it was like, bitch, you're a punk. Like, if you don't get your ass on this machine, like, really? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So then they had this thing where they were gonna dog fight. So Clayton went against Nate, and y'all know I love Nate. Like, I really like Nate. Nate is one of my favorites for sure. So I love Nate. And Clayton beat Nate ass. Okay. Gosh, why he had to do my Nate like that? Okay. And then Spencer won. I don't know who Spencer went against, but Spencer won. Will and Peter, they do not get along at all. Will and Peter, they do not get along, right? So Peter is the guy that I don't like. Peter is the pizzapreneur who I'm always talking shit about because I don't like his fucking ass. So Peter and Nate got it. Peter and Willie, whatever. Willie got, they had to do their fight together, which was kind of like you were already expecting it because, like, you know that they don't like each other, so it only made sense that they were going to fight against each other. And when I tell y'all Will kicked his ass, like, I thought Peter would have definitely put up more of a fight than what he actually did, but no, he did not. Like, he got his ass whooped. It's like basically Willie was dog walking Peter. Like, he was just making him look like a bitch at some point. So that was crazy. And basically at the end of that date, it was probably like half the guys on that date. So basically on that date, they picked a winner for the end, and the winner was Will. And Will, who doesn't like Peter and Peter doesn't like him, he actually got a bomber jacket, and he got something else for being the winner. And Peter was like real jealous of the fact that Will won, and he was like, Will won, enjoy your 5 minutes of fame, enjoy your bomber jacket, I'm self-made. Now, bitch, please tell me, what does self-made have to do with Will winning the challenge? Like, like, this male ego just drives me crazy. Like, what does being self-made have to do with winning a fighting challenge? You lost a fight. So, okay, you self-made, okay. Go make me some pizza, doughboy. Like, I was like, when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh. The selfish, the ego, the cockiness, the just stupidity of it all. Whatever. So, Clayton got some one-on-one time, which he was longing for because he felt like he hadn't connected like one-on-one with Michelle, so he really wanted that one-on-one time. So he got the one-on-one time that he desired with Michelle. And once again, like I said last week, it's just crazy to me how like they can like kiss all these guys. I think if I were on a dating show, if I was the Bachelorette, of course I'm in a relationship. Of course I'm in a relationship, so I can't be the Bachelorette. But if my relationship ever ended and they sought out me to be the Bachelorette, I don't think that I would be able to kiss all those guys. Like, I will only kiss the ones that like I really, really like. And even then, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. They would probably, if the requirement is to kiss, they would probably have to force me to kiss the guys. Because I'll be like, no. Or, you know, at the moment it's right. So I guess maybe if I feel it in the moment. But I just think it's so cringy, like, when they be kissing. Because it's like, you're kissing all these different guys. I don't know. Joe. So Joe, when doing his one-on-one time, I was like looking at Michelle and I was like, dang, you can tell that she is feeling him. She's definitely feeling Joe for sure. So Joe's on his one-on-one, I believe, and then Peter and Willie, they get in a fight. Peter's calling Willie a bully, which is really weird because Peter has not, I feel like Willie has not been mean to Peter, right? But I feel like Peter has been like mean to Willie. So the fact that Peter, the pizzapreneur, has been, like called Willie a bully, I think that that's like absurd. But, you know, again, he's like very egotistic. Like his male ego is like, buzzer is like, beep, 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 beep. So it makes sense how he would think that someone is trying to go against him when really he's the one going against the guy. So I wonder, like, is that like an insecurity? Like, what is it about Willie that triggers Peter? Because, okay, I understood the little joke about the narcissist or whatever, but it's like, can you not move past from that? Can't like you could be shady, reasonably shady, without being just like nasty. Like at work, I tell people all the time, because they think that I'm like really, really nice. And I'm like, yeah, I'm nice. I was like, but I'm nice nasty. So I'm like a nice nasty person. So like, I'll say something nasty to you, but in a nice way. So like, you really wouldn't be able to read like, is she nice or is she mean? Like, I'm nice nasty and I'm reasonably shady. So like my shade will be disguised in niceness / nastiness. I'm nice nasty, okay? So yeah, so Peter is just delusional. Like delusional, okay? So Peter does something also really stupid. So Willie goes for his one-on-one, right? And Peter takes Willie's jacket that he won in the challenge. Oh, y'all, Jay Ellis was on the episode. Oh, and some other guy. What was his name? I think it was like, oh, y'all, what was his name? It was like something Powell. Glenn Powell, maybe? Maybe that was his name. But, so, what's his name? Willie goes for his one-on-one time with Michelle. And tell me why Peter takes the jacket that Willie won for the challenge and throws it in the pool. Just so dramatic, full of drama. Like, Peter, that's some bitch type shit. Like, why are you touching that man's stuff? Why? 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 Peter is like literally a bitch. And I have not liked Peter from the beginning. So, of course, maybe I'm biased, but I haven't liked his ass. He's a bitch to me. Now, the other punkish type part to that is when Willie came off of his one-on-one time with Michelle, he was like, oh, where's my jacket? What y'all do with my jacket? And somebody says, Peter threw it in the pool. He started crying. And I'm like, what kind of men are these? Like, some of them are like really manly, but some of them, like, you crying because he threw your jacket in the pool? What? That was very punkish to me. I'm sorry, but that was like corny and punkish, okay? And then Peter has the nerve to be like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. See, he feeling good like nothing happened. Dude, you just got in a whole loud screaming match with Willie. You threw his jacket in the pool without him knowing, and you talking about you feeling good? What type of narcissist are you? A real narc. So why you mad that he called you a narc? Because you acting like a narc, for real. Anyway, Rodney. So, okay, so I think in my first video, or was it my second? I don't know. But I wasn't 100% feeling Rodney, right? I felt like Rodney was a little corny. But Rodney got a date, like an actual date with Michelle. And they did food tasting, which I thought was really cool. It might be something that later down the line I actually want to try. So it's where Rodney blindfolded Michelle and fed her food, and she had to guess what the food was. I thought that that was a really cool date. Although I thought that Rodney was corny in, like, you know, the first 2 episodes, I will say I feel like he's really, really genuine. And I think I said this before about Rodney as well. So I feel like he's really genuine in the sense that, like, if Michelle were to pick him to, like, propose and to have a relationship with, I feel like he would do the right thing. I feel like he would do right by her. I feel like he would be faithful. He just seems like a stand-up guy. And some of these guys, they kind of give me like player vibes, and some of them also give me like, I really want the real thing. Like, I'm looking for what she's looking for vibe as well. And I just feel like Rodney would be like the guy. Like, they would have a strong relationship as far as getting to know each other. It would be a strong bond, and they probably could actually take it all the way. So take it to the altar, have children, and live there happily ever after. I definitely see Rodney as one of the guys who are genuine and who could potentially be the soulmate that she's looking for. I really see that in Rodney. Even though like I said, I felt he was corny, I also saw the adventurous side, because she somehow, this somehow came up, but they wanted him to run through the lobby naked or whatever. So get completely undressed, run through the lobby naked, and he did it. So the fact that he did it, I feel like he's also adventurous, and I love adventurous men. So I found that to be really cool about Rodney. And like, I started like, I could definitely see them together. So I'm definitely a fan of Rodney now. It's not that I wasn't a fan of him before, but I just felt he was a little bit corny. But now I see it, Rodney. I see your your genuinality. I see your genuineness and your authenticity, and I'm rocking with you, Rodney. And I felt like they had a really good date. So I was very happy for Rodney, right? Okay. So then the second group of guys, they went on a poem date, and they pretty much had to write their own poem, which was really cool. And one of the guys, I think his name was Chris, but it's 2 Chris's. So I don't know which Chris, but he was like fanning out over the poet. I can't remember the poet's name. Poet's name. Yeah. But he was like really fanning out, and that was really cute to see, because I love when like people have inspirations. Like, I have people who inspire me, and who so like to see that from a guy, it was like really cool. Like how he was like, oh man, like he could feel the words of what the poet was saying and stuff like that. So that was really cool to see. I like that they broadcasted that. Jamie was too cocky. Y'all know I don't like Jamie. So he went on the second date, and the challenge was to make a poem. So instead of him making a poem, his bitch ass told a story. And the story made no sense. He was like, picture a girl walking through the woods, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, what are you talking about? You're supposed to do a poem. Like, why do you feel like you're above doing the poem? Like, oh, wait, do you not know how to write a poem? So you're going to try to do something different? You're going to try to be different? It was so fucking stupid, y'all. I was like disgusted, like the fact that he didn't follow the challenge, because I already didn't already like Jamie. So when I saw him do that, it just made me like disgusted. So anyway, then Michelle does a poem, and her poem was really cute. It was cute. Okay. And then they go into the cocktail hour, and Michelle had on that gold dress. And let me tell you, Michelle is a bad woman right there. She is beautiful. I'm saying this every week, I love the how she exudes an incredible black woman. She looks good. She carries herself well. Very, she got it, okay? And I'm going to say it again. Matt James, you missed out, buddy. Matt missed out, okay? Because that woman is beautiful. She has a heart filled with love and gold. And I don't know her, but from what is displayed of her, I love her, okay? Michelle fan here, okay? So anyways, So something that I wrote down on my notes, I think she was like, I genuinely have feelings for some of these guys or something like that, she said. And I was like, how? So it brings me back to the question. Last week I said I was going to research this. I have not researched it, but I am going to make it my business to research it. But I just want to know how much time goes by from like when she actually meets them for the first time versus the first episode, second episode, third episode. And I always try to reflect back to some of my past relationships and maybe how fast I fell for some people. I try to reflect back to think like, because it's not that it's not possible, but it's interesting. Oh gosh, the toddler is waking up and I have a little bit more to go. So I'm about to go quickly. Anyways, because she was like, I think Nate actually said that he genuinely had feelings for Michelle. And I was like, really? But, you know, I know how feelings works, obviously. So I know that you can catch feelings. So, but again, I'm going to do that research. Anyway, the guys decided to stir up some drama. So this is, I already went over this in the first part of the video. So basically, when I started the video at the end of the episode because I was so eager to talk shit about Jamie. So during the cocktail hour, the guys decided to stir up drama, and that's when they wanted to figure out who told Michelle that her character was being questioned. So Rick is the one who, when he on his one-on-one, he asked Michelle like, "Oh, who told you that?" Because that was never a discussion in the house. So I just want to know like how that conversation went, yada yada yada. That's when Michelle told her Jamie. Rick was like, "No, that never happened." So he went back and told two of the other guys. The other guys felt like, why didn't he speak up when Michelle opened up the floor, or even later on that night? Like, why didn't he speak up? Which is the same shit that I said at the end of my video last week. I was like, why didn't he say anything? Like, he's preaching miscommunication and all of this stuff. But when the floor was open to speak about it, why didn't he speak? And he didn't speak. Now we know he didn't speak because he made all that stuff up. He was lying. And then Nate let his ass have it, which I liked because he like, you know, stood there like a man. I love manly men. And he stood there like a man and told him like, why would you do that? No, you know, you went and tried to portray this scenario, but it wasn't this scenario. It was this scenario. It was you. You were the scenario, but you tried to turn it on us and you caused a bunch of drama and you hurt Michelle last week. So I like that Nate stood up for that. And Jamie was just sitting there looking confused. And I was literally like, why are you looking confused? Why are you looking confused? Like, you know what you told her. Like, why are you? And the faces that he was making, like y'all, I was, you would have thought that I was like Michelle's best friend or something. Because he was literally driving me insane. Insane, okay? I'm like, why? Like, the faces that he was making, it just all just was like bullshit. So even while Michelle was talking, he was acting like he didn't know he was talking about it. He was like, you know, like, why? You're embarrassed. So that's why you're doing all of that now. But anyway, she let him go. She walked him out and she canceled the cocktail ceremony and they went straight into the rose ceremony. The people who didn't get a rose, I actually don't know all the guys. I know that the black guy with the little bit of blonde on top, he went home. The black guy who has a kid went home. And I know Peter, the pizzapreneur, went home. And y'all, I was clapping. I was like cheering in bed when he didn't get a rose. Willie actually got the last rose. So that kind of makes me feel that Willie might also be on his way out, depending on how he acts from this point forward. But I was thrilled that Peter didn't get a rose. I was thrilled that she walked Jamie out and Jamie is no longer, because you know what? It's really hard to do, but when you're dating, any sign of red flags and bullshit, you got to let it go. I've definitely in the past when I dated kind of like let things go on longer than they should have gone on. And there's been situations where at the sign of bullshit, I let people go. This one guy in particular, we had only been together for like a month. And, you know, it was some BS that popped up. And, you know, I just, where the place that I was in my life at that moment, I just didn't have time for the bullshit, so I let it go. I let it go like it was nothing. Like, and you know what? I actually really liked him. And I really was interested in a potential future with him. But, you know, I just couldn't get past it was like some real drama, like some drama. And I just wasn't here for it at all. Because at that point, like I said, in my life, I was only like 23, 24. But I think at that age, I was kind of in a phase where I was kind of like growing into a woman. So I had already like been in college. I had already had a child. I kind of had already dealt with like, you know, players and things like that. So I think where I wanted to go didn't allow for bullshit. But then, yeah, no. Yeah, but so I definitely let him go immediately. And it's so funny because even right now, like, we're still friends on Facebook and Instagram, but no. That's all I'm gonna say about that, okay? But that is all I have tonight for the next day, whatever. That's all I have for the Bachelorette episode. It was a really, really good episode. I really enjoyed that episode from beginning to end. It was a struggle to stay awake, but I made it through, and I was very pleased with the results. I'm definitely interested to see where episode 4 takes us. Again, as I always say, I'm happy for Michelle. I'm happy for this journey. I'm happy that we have a nice example of a black woman on TV, and it's being displayed very tasteful and classy like. So I'm excited for her, and I can't wait for episode 4 next week. I did not review Insecure yet. I'm going to do it probably. I'm gonna go check on the toddler, and I may do it right now. We'll see. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for tuning in with Jasmine Marie, and I'll see you next week. Bye.